protest against companies that use rabbits to test mascara and stuff, which is like totally against nature.
Like pink hair?
Trying to right here.
Hello, kitchen, family space.
My hair makes a statement.
Says you need a hat.
I'm a part of this family. I need a place to write.
Don't you have an office where you teach?
It's not a college, Amy. It's a prison. Come to think of it, it's a lot quieter than here.
Love you too.
So can I go to the protest?
No, you're still grounded. The rabbits are doomed to longer, more luxurious lashes for 1 more week.
I have cheesecake.
Non-dairy?
Oh, sweetheart, Grandma doesn't do non-dairy.
Well, you should. Factory farms are like really disgusting. Really mean to the cows.
It's raspberry swirl.
Is your hair wet?
Oh, it's just damp, dear.
What are you wearing?
Oh, Ignacio's jacket. We went to the theater. Pippin on roller skates. Bad idea. And so at the intermission we left and got dinner, and afterwards we decided to cut across this lawn on Park Street just as the sprinklers went off. We just, and the two of us were just
You sound like a couple of giddy teenagers.
Grandma's in love.
No. You have the wrong idea about my relationship with Ignacio.
Really? Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately? Because there's this smile thing happening.
We're friends and nothing more. Well, if you must know, we had a moment that impelled us to define our relationship. We're just friends.
Mom, you went out with him twice last weekend. You've been out with him 3 times so far this week. You have lunch with him like every other day. I'm just saying you're not sending out the just friends message.
On further reflection, I'm no longer interested in sharing my cheesecake with either of you.
What's wrong with her?
Defense counsel on our first case is from Freely, Babbitt, and Morgan.
Lucky defendant.
Yeah. You gotta give those guys credit. Donating their time like that, it's...
3 cheers for high-priced lawyers.
Donna?
I donate my time, but I have 61 active cases. And in addition to being a lawyer, I'm my own secretary, paralegal, and process server. And I make less as an attorney than I did as a clerk. But let's give the guy from Greedy, Grabbit, and Morgaine a pat on his pampered bottom for slumming it in juvie for a few hours.
I didn't mean to offend.
Save it, tall man. I gotta go meet a poor defendant who was unlucky enough to get me, a lowly public defender, instead of a pro bono hotshot.
Donna.
Great. Just great.
It's the second call in a week, but the wife won't say you hit her, so we can't take him in.
And there's a child in the house.
1 girl, 3 years old.
Well, I'll be paying them a visit right away. Thank you for alerting us.
We'll be in touch.
You have a visitor. Hello, Ignacio.
Good morning, Sean. Maxine, I see you've dried off since I saw you last.
Okay. I need to not be here for this.
I was hoping you were free for lunch.
I'm afraid not. I was on my way out.
Oh, perhaps an early dinner. I want to make up for a Pippin and a half pipe.
That's not really necessary.
Oh, I think it is. Allow me to take you to dinner, and this time I promise that we won't end up lying in the mud in the park. Although, on second thought, that's not...
Listen to me, Ignacio.
Oh, this can't be good.
I am concerned that we may have rushed right back into a relationship.
Aha. Well, it's your word, not mine. I simply consider us 2 people who enjoy each other's company. No labels, no obligations.
Really?
Yes.
Be that as it may, we have been spending a great deal of time together and seem to be heading straight for the same moment we both agreed we should never have had.
I do not know to which moment you are referring, Mrs. Gray. My memory's been wiped clean because I was told never to speak of a certain moment again.
Well...
Which I have not done. In the interim, we've had many dinners and walks and lovely evenings of terrible theater. So before those become things of the past, I bid you adieu. And for the record, I never agreed.
One of your neighbors reported that there may have been some violence in your home, and I'm here to let you know that the Department of Children and Families has counselors you can speak with.
Please. I'm on the faculty at the university. You do know that, don't you?
Then you should know that class has no bearing on domestic violence.
We had an argument. It happens.
It was just a little spat. It was all my fault.
Your fault?
Yes, I get so tense around tax time. The littlest thing just sets me off.
Yes, as you can see, everything's under control. Surely you have more important cases.
All cases are of equal importance, Mr. Tomko.
How egalitarian. But I have a class at noon. If you'll excuse me, Amanda will see you out. You know, most women of your age wouldn't think of wearing that color. Good for you.
Have you family here in Hartford?
No, we just moved here last year from Chapel Hill.
Oh. Well, I hope the city has been welcoming to you. We Connecticut Yankees tend to be a reserved lot. But I think you'll find there are no more reliable neighbors.
Mommy.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you say hi, Lainey?
Hi.
Hi. Oh.
That's quite a bruise.
I bumped myself putting Lainey into her car seat. It's nothing.
Call me when you can talk. Take care of yourself, Mrs. Tomko. Okay, Fernando Duran, 15, is charged with assaulting an undercover officer and resisting arrest. Appearances.
Justin Barr of Freely, Babbitt & Morgan.
It is rare to see someone from your august firm in our courtroom. I applaud you for volunteering your time.
My privilege, Your Honor. I should warn you, I'm a corporate attorney. I'm not used to criminal litigation.
We'll try to take it easy on you.
Ethan Donahue from the August Office of the State's Attorney. We hope that the court will take it easy on us as well.
So noted.
Your Honor, we'd like to amend our plea to guilty.
I assume you've discussed this with the state?
We're prepared to offer 18 months in a juvenile correctional facility.
What a freaking joke.
You have something to say, Mr. Duran?
Yeah, I didn't do any of this crap.
Terrific.
Then why are you pleading guilty?
GQ said if I didn't take the deal, I was a moron.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Take a giant step forward.
I'll convince him to take the plea.
I can't accept a plea that's been strong-armed. He has a right to a trial.
Then I'd like to make an application to withdraw from the case. I took this pro bono.
And now that it might be a little work you want out, yes, I will let you off. But the record will show it was for ineffective counsel.
Which impugns my reputation.
It's your choice. Come on, you bill at what, $4.50 an hour? Think of the write-off a trial will earn your firm.
$4.50 an hour. God bless America.
All right, let the record show that a plea of not guilty has been entered, and I'm going to appoint a guardian ad litem to ensure that the defendant's best interests are protected. Who's the next PD in the rotation?
Donna Kozlowski.
Okay. Well, trial to be scheduled as soon as Miss Kozlowski's on board. We're adjourned.
So I persuaded a whole group of gals from my club to volunteer with me at the hospital, and the Chief of Staff has invited me to chair the spring benefit.
Well, I'm delighted for you. I'm delighted for them.
And I have you to thank, Maxine. No, I do. You opened my eyes. My days are happier than they've ever been. Of course, I still have these nights.
Well, perhaps you'll meet someone.
I'd like that. Women of our generation weren't raised to be alone.
We weren't meant to be singles either. Dating is a very different animal than it was when Edward and I were courting.
Yeah? How so?
The freedom, physical intimacies. I'm past the age when hearts and rockets make sense.
Oh, well, when did they ever make sense?
Well, I don't want the anxiety, the self-consciousness that comes along with all that.
Oh, what do you have to be self-conscious about?
Well, apparently, sangria unleashes my inner wild woman. No. I've shut that door.
Oh, no.
Yes, I have.
Oh, well. I have not. Although I think fate might have shut the door for me. Well, what's good here?
Is that Ignacio?
Oh, a gentleman friend.
No, just a friend. Although he is a perfect gentleman.
I'm not following you, I swear. I just came in to have some soup and read my book.
Well, there's no better place. Patricia Ignacio Messina, Ignacio Patricia Campbell. Hello.
Very glad to meet you. Well, I'll leave you to your lunch.
Mr. Messina, excuse me, but your name sounds so familiar to me. May I inquire your profession?
I am a landscape architect.
Ah, and would I have seen your work anywhere?
Perhaps the floating gardens at Carlisle?
You are a genius. No. You have brought Bali to Hartford.
Well, I don't...
Nonsense. It's positively tropical in there. Your work is inspired. The man paints with gardenias.
Yes, he does.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you join us?
Oh.
We insist, don't we, Maxine?
Oh.
Well, of course we do. Pull up a chair. Sit down. We'll make some room here for you. Oh, this is lovely. So, where are you from?
Was Don okay about taking on another case?
Thankfully, I got her voicemail.
Hello. Yeah, this is Lauren Cassidy's mother. She what? She, you're sure we're talking about the same Lauren? Yeah. I'll be there as soon as I can. Thank you.
What's going on?
Lauren got suspended from school.
For what?
Vandalism.
It started out as a protest against the food service company. Today was Hamburger Day, which apparently upset the straight edge kids.
I'm sorry, the who?
The kids Lauren hangs around with. She's never talked about that?
No, not really.
They don't believe in drinking or taking drugs or having sex. But they're big into tattoos and piercings and destroying trays of hamburger patties.
Lauren did that?
Along with 20 other kids. My understanding is they were only planning to hold hands and prevent the food service company from making its delivery. But there was some shoving. It got out of hand.
I'm so sorry, Miss Fisher. This is not like her.
I know that. Look, Lauren's a good kid. She's trying to find herself, and as far as extreme philosophies go, straight edge isn't so bad. But we can't have this kind of disruption on school grounds.
I know. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Who made you do this, Lauren?
I did. I have my own mind, you know.
Oh, this is not the example you should be giving of how well your mind works, young lady. There's no one to stay with you at home, so you're going to have to sit in my chambers for the rest of the day.
Okay.
And you will do all the homework Miss Fisher sent home for you. And this doubles how grounded you are. Are you in some club called the Straight Edge?
It's not a club. It's just what people call us because we won't do all the stupid things they do.
Uh-huh.
Don't make a big deal out of it, okay? I'm sorry I embarrassed you.
You should be sorry you embarrassed yourself.
Keep it moving. The same when we see you, Gray.
Word, man. Making us miss time in the gym.
You guys, you're the best writers in my 3 classes, so we're gonna have an extra session every week. Anyway, I got you these.
Cheap-ass notebooks.
They're not cheap-ass notebooks, they're journals. You can write whatever you want. Or we can come up with topics. Any ideas? Diesel? Suggestions for topics? Okay, keep up the good work. The important thing is to write every day. You can write porn if you want to. Oh, I got Diesel's attention.
You write every day, Gray?
Nah, you ain't got that much to say.
No way. My man got crazy words. He always running on about something.
Actually, yeah, I have been writing every day. But you need to...
You writing another book?
I don't know. I'm not sure. No one seemed to want to read the first couple.
Yeah, well, no one's gonna want to read our stuff neither, man. So why are we even writing for?
You should write for yourselves. But you're wrong. I mean, I think people would want to read your stuff.
Don't start lying now, man.
I'm not lying.
Ain't nobody want to hear from no low-life thugs. Because that's all they think we is.
Uh-huh. Well, let's worry about having something to say first. All right? All right, open your journals.
How was your lunch?
Crowded and odd. Any news around here?
Let's see. Professor Tomko's wife called to complain about your visit.
The victim protects her abuser. It's straight out of the textbook.
Yes, it is.
He's hitting her, Sean. I know it. I saw it on her face.
Relax.
Well, how in holy hell can I do that? Have you read these statistics? Every 9 seconds in this country, a woman is assaulted or beaten.
I know.
Every day. Every damn day, a woman is murdered by her male partner.
Take a breath.
Domestic violence is the major cause of injury to women. More than car accidents, muggings.
Okay, I'm going to speak now.
And rape combined.
And you can do something about it.
How? How? The law is insane. We can't interfere until it escalates. You should have seen this fella, Sean. He had all the classic signs. The control, the denial. He was so damned tweedy and smug.
Mr. Potter, I have that information that you wanted.
Not now, Jay.
Don't listen to her, Jay. Professor Tomko had a previous marriage. That marriage ended when his first wife filed assault charges against him.
Let me see that. Well, this gives me a reasonable apprehension of potential harm.
Works for me.
I'm going back there.
Excellent idea.
Keep up the good work.
What just happened? God and her mysterious ways.
A CI, that's a confidential informant, told us that drugs were being dealt out of the building. Why didn't you get a search warrant?
Judges don't like to give warrants based solely on what a CI says. Am I right, Your Honor?
Well,
Sucking up. She hates that.
Address Mr. Barr, Detective Moran.
CIs are usually criminals eager to make a deal. Isn't that the reason judges don't like to rely on them?
Maybe. But when I saw the defendant enter the building, I knew my CI had it right.
I've been doing this
Careful,
long
GQ,
enough to
don't
know.
open that door.
Why, because he's Latino?
Kicks the door wide open.
No, because I picked him up last year for boosting a car stereo.
A moment to confer with Miss Koslowski, Your Honor.
Certainly.
Okay, pretty boy, you need to do some serious damage control. First, ask why he used force when Freddie didn't have a weapon. Then ask...
Wait. Are you a lawyer? So why is this clown up there?
He's the attorney of record.
But he sucks.
He's right. I've never even litigated a traffic ticket.
You volunteered to take this
Everyone
case.
said just make a deal. I'm good at that. And I'm up for a partner at my firm. They like to see pro bono stuff.
Hey, how are we doing, defense team?
Come on, you gotta do it. I need you.
If it pleases the court, I'd like to serve as co-counsel as well as guardian ad litem.
You're willing to take that on?
I am.
Okay. Well, then you know what would really please the court? Getting back to testimony.
Well, well.
Professor Tomko, how was your class this afternoon?
College classes don't meet every day. Mrs. Gray, didn't you go to college?
Is your wife at home?
She's visiting her sister.
Where's Lainey?
She's asleep, and I'll thank you not to disturb her.
When do you expect your wife to return?
Mrs. Gray, this is beginning to smack of harassment.
I know about your history.
You've read my thesis on the psychological effects of Khrushchev on the former Soviet Republic?
I know that your first wife filed assault charges against you.
Which were summarily dropped.
Because she refused to testify.
Because they were baseless.
Perhaps she was afraid.
Perhaps you're chasing ghosts, Mrs. Gray.
Professor, I have been doing this work for 35 years. Let's cut the BS, shall we? I know that you're abusing your wife.
Come in. Won't you?
Please give me a number where I can reach your wife.
Her sister's cabin's in the Berkshires. There's no phone.
And she left Lainey behind with no way for you to reach her?
Why do you do this job, Mrs. Gray? Can't be for the money. First impression, I'd say you have a desperate need to be needed, which you address by helping others.
I'm a social worker. That is not exactly the most discerning insight.
Were you neglected as a child?
Have your wife call me as soon as she returns.
I find it curious that you chose a profession in which you're not allowed to get close to the people you help, and they can't get close to you.
It's called keeping a clinical distance.
It's an excuse for keeping people at arm's length. It's perfect for a person with intimacy issues. What does your family think of your work?
That is none of your business.
While you're ministering to strangers, you leave them alone. You can't let anyone, especially those closest to you, make a real connection, because you know that makes you vulnerable.
Please hand me my coat.
But when you wake up in the middle of the night, you know you're not that confident, strong woman the world sees. You're still that lonely, neglected girl who doesn't feel worthy of love, attention, intimate connection.
Your daughter got sent home from school today?
Yes.
Did you kill her?
No. It was a stupid protest. Some people didn't get their hamburgers. That was about the extent of it. Assistant principal isn't worried about Lauren, so... What?
Learning from your mistakes. Not flying off the handle.
I'm trying.
What is this?
Some stuff I downloaded off the internet. You ever hear of this?
Straight edge? No, what is this?
It's a movement or philosophy. I don't know. It came out of the punk rock scene. They don't believe in smoking or drinking or taking drugs, promiscuous sex, or eating meat. They're Lauren's new friends.
Seriously? Lauren's part of a movement.
Don't be so happy about it.
Hey, come on. You remember the kind of movement that we were involved in? Certainly weren't against drugs, alcohol, sex, or hamburgers. She could be doing a lot worse.
I know. It's just the group think aspect that bothers me.
But you think they're brainwashing her?
No, I think she's a sensitive little girl who's easily swayed. I don't think she's a revolutionary.
Well, maybe she is.
Vincent.
She doesn't even know who she is. How could you know?
That's my point. She's susceptible to these people. She's not thinking for herself.
She stood up to you. That's not easy.
So his wife's away for an undefined period without her child and no phone, and he thinks you're just going to accept that?
He thinks there's nothing I can do about that.
Well, let's call the hospitals and check in with the police.
It's in the works. You should have a bell around your neck. Sorry.
I know you're busy. I won't take much time. Ignacio is fabulous. Clever and wise, yet humble, warm and open, yet enigmatic, humorous.
You've made your point. Ignacio is quite a man.
You two seem to know each other very well.
We've spent some time together.
Ah, and how do you feel about him?
I do not feel like answering these questions, Patricia. He's a friend of mine. If you are trying to coax me into some kind of romantic relationship with him.
Actually, I would like to invite him to a benefit at the Athenaeum.
A date?
Well, not actually a date. I need an escort, and I found him to be very pleasant company, but I wouldn't ask him unless it's all right with you.
Of course. Ignacio can do as he pleases, obviously.
Now, you're sure that somewhere in the back of your mind you're not thinking, well, maybe one day
I told you, Patricia, that door is closed.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask him. Do you by any chance have his phone number?
So, you were on probation last year for breaking into a car, but you haven't been in trouble since then.
I'm going for my GED and I work as a mechanic. Well, I pump gas, but he's teaching me.
What happened on the night in question?
I gotta be home by 9 because my aunt, that's who I live with. She calls from a job. I'm not there, she'd kill me.
Were you home by 9 that night?
I get to the door, and those undercover cops come out of nowhere saying they want to talk to me. But I hear the phone ringing inside, so I tell them, not now. That's when the big one just jumps me and starts yelling, give me the money.
Did they identify themselves as police officers?
No, but I knew the big guy, Moran, because like he said, he had pension for breaking into a car.
Why did they ask you for money?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
I'll rephrase. Are you familiar with the practice known as raid and run?
That's where a cop stops a dealer, but they don't arrest him. They just take his money.
And the dealer can't report the crime. Sorry.
What did you do when the undercover asked you for money?
I gave him the $2 out of my pocket. He gave me this. Guess he was expecting a bigger take.
Did the detectives follow you into the apartment?
They tore the place up. And the big one kept hitting me. Where's the money? Punch. We know you're dealing. Punch. Give it up. Punch. I hit him and tried to keep him off me, but it only pissed him off more.
Did they find any money or drugs?
There was none. I don't deal. My aunt said she catches me doping or dealing, she'll kick me out.
How did the incident end?
Neighbors called the cops, regular cops. And undercover who kicked my ass tells them to bring me in for hitting an officer.
Oh, thank God. I was worried.
Mrs. Gray, I need you to stop whatever it is you're doing on my behalf.
Where have you been, Amanda?
Up north of here. Look, Mrs. Gray, I'm fine. I don't need your help.
Well, sit and we'll talk. We need to get you to a doctor.
No.
Why are you allowing this man to hurt you?
He's not. Sometimes he loses control.
My dear, he is all about control.
He's brilliant and interesting and dynamic.
He's small and scared. And he's dangerous.
He's had a hard life. You don't know what he's been through.
You have a daughter.
He would never hurt Lainey.
Do you think he isn't hurting her? Do you think she doesn't understand what's happening? He is her first and most important example of what a man should be.
I appreciate your concern. I'm going home. I came here to ask you to please leave us alone.
Mrs. Tomko, you came here because you knew I wouldn't do that. Okay. Okay. It's okay.
He's this huge guy, like he could snap me in two, and he's reading this poem about his mother, and he's weeping. I mean, it was heartbreaking.
Don't some of these kids scare you?
Once you've had your ass kicked by a pimp, you sort of lose the fear. This one. This is written by a kid who's been running drugs since he was 6.
You got your ass kicked by a pimp.
That's another long story. Check this out.
Most of our readers are suburban adults. They won't even understand the language these kids use. But I see how jazzed you are.
They're amazing. These kids are amazing.
And you can make their experiences accessible and relevant to the readers.
I'm not sure I understand.
The book I want to publish is your story, your journey with these kids.
I wanted to showcase their writing.
Well, you can include samples, but I want your prose, your insights, your point of view.
I can do that.
Well, then I can sell this book.
So, you said you live with your aunt. She's not really your aunt, is she?
She's my friend's grandma. But she doesn't get any money for having me or anything. So it's like I'm family.
But she's not your aunt. You haven't lived with a relative since your mother was incarcerated when you were how old?
2nd grade.
And you were put in a foster home, removed for abuse, and then several group homes. It's a tough way to grow up.
I'm doing okay.
Arrested at 12 for shoplifting. Twice at 13. Last year, petty larceny, breaking and entering. Yeah, you're doing great.
We don't need the sarcasm, counselor.
You're a street kid with a record who tells casual lies. Why should we believe you now?
He's badgering the witness.
You dial it way back, Mr. Donahue.
You should have taken the deal.
No, the only thing you should do is tell the truth.
I am. But it don't matter. Your people won't believe me. No cop comes to rob me, and I end up getting a beat down and going to jail.
Your Honor, this is self-serving conjecture, unsupported by evidence.
Mr. Donahue.
This is evidence. But I'm just a street kid, so it doesn't matter, right? Who the hell are you to decide I don't matter?
Okay, all right. Take it easy, Freddie. I understand that you're upset, but you...
I didn't do nothing. But this cop's kicking my ass, saying I'm dealing, and all I'm thinking is how she told me. Just no drugs, Fernando, and this is your home. First person who wasn't getting paid to take me. Because some dumbass cops got the wrong apartment, thinking I'm the kid from down the hall. Saying I'm dealing.
Okay, all right. We're going to take 10 minutes.
I didn't do nothing.
Okay.
Mrs. Gray, I'm entirely out of patience.
As am I. Shall we do this in front of your neighbors? I'm here to pick up your daughter.
This need you have to exaggerate your importance is pathetic.
I believe I have you figured out. You teach because in the world you feel powerless, a failure. But with a captive audience, you are free to indulge the delusion that you're the smartest one in the room.
I'm the smartest one in many rooms.
You are a coward and a bully. You choose vulnerable young women and isolate them, making them easier to control. That's what you did to Amanda and to your first wife, who was only too happy to talk about your many, many inadequacies.
This conversation is over.
Yes, it is. I'll get Laney.
You have the right to
Hey,
remain silent.
what the hell is
You
this?
give up that right.
Amanda has
Anything you
decided
say can and will be
to
used
file
against you in a
charges
court of law.
so that Laney won't have to grow up with a man like you.
I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue everyone.
You're doing it from prison.
In a he said case, the trier of fact must decide who is more credible. In this case, one of the parties is a decorated police officer. The other is a 15-year-old with a criminal record. Now, if this weren't a courtroom, this case might end there. But this is a courtroom. Here, people are innocent until proven guilty. Here, I am supposed to put aside first impressions, assumptions, stereotypes, even though a defendant's past behavior may lead me to conclude that I believe this kid. Every way that I look at it, his story just feels honest. I believe that undercover officers mistook him for a dealer. I believe that he hit them in self-defense. I believe that's why he didn't accept the state's generous plea. I believe you. I just do. Therefore, I find Fernando Duran not guilty of assault or resisting arrest. And I will advise the Department of Internal Affairs of this incident and the practice known as raid and run. Well, after a very difficult start, you seem to be finding your way, Freddie. Don't quit until you get there. Court's adjourned.
You gave me away?
I did nothing of the sort.
You handed me over like I was an old truck that you lost in a poker game.
I do not play poker, and you are an old truck.
That's beside the point.
Patricia's a lovely woman.
Indeed.
She appears quite taken with you.
She said that?
She did.
What were her exact words?
Oh, for God's sake, are we in the 8th grade? She likes you. Go run off with her. See what I care.
Mrs. Gray, I'm here to make sure that we exactly understand each other.
Good.
So, if I, as you suggest, escort Patricia, then, like you say, she's taken with me, then that means that we...
I know what it means.
Well, that we won't be...
I know what we won't be.
There's no turning back.
Forward-looking. Always have been.
And you're okay with this?
It is as it should be.
I just want to make sure that we completely understand each other.
We do.
Mrs. Gray, vaya con Dios.
Here, Charlie.
See you tomorrow, Charlie. Hi, Bruce.
Oh, that's nice. That's really mature.
You took the kid's word over the cops. You can only disrespect people so much before.
Before what?
Nothing.
No, go ahead, Bruce. Finish what you started.
Have a good night.
I got the car outside if you need a lift. Come along.
Freddie, you shouldn't do that.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you. I want you to know I told the truth in there.
I know.
No, but really I did. Most people wouldn't have done what you did. I don't think I'd believe me if I was you. You take care.
Good luck, Freddie.
Improperly displayed parking decal. You've got to be kidding me.
Hey, Noodle, I'm home. Lauren? How many times have I told you to keep your school on the ground? Yeah, desk, for God's sake.
Who are you talking to, Amy?
Gee, I don't know.
What are you doing?
Where did you get this?
You're going through my things?
Your things were on the floor. I put them back. Where did you get all this money?
You have no right to come in here and look through my things.
Lauren, there's got to be nearly $300 here. I personally watched you empty your savings last week to buy new boots. So I'm going to ask you again.
I'm not telling you anything. On principle.
Then on principle, you're going to be grounded until you're 40. Does this have anything to do with Reagan Swope? Or the kids that say they don't do drugs?
They don't.
Then why do you have $300?
Gosh, why do you always have to think the worst of me? Maybe if I did a drive-by with my cousin, you'd be on my side.
Graciela? You're mad at me because I'm helping Graciela?
I'm just saying you like her.
Graciela has no one, Lauren. You have me, you have Grandma, you have Daddy, you have your uncles, you have your friends, you have your teacher. Lauren, I love you more than anyone or anything in the world.
Then why are you always so mad at me?
I am not mad. I am scared. All the time, especially these days. I am scared that I haven't been there with you enough. I haven't been there watching over you, making sure you eat right and do your homework. I'm not here when you get home from school. And now that you're getting older, I'm scared that it's too late for me, that I have been gone too much and too long, and that it is too late.
School told us we had to pay for the food we destroyed in the cafeteria. So we all kicked in $15, and I'm supposed to give that to Miss Fisher tomorrow.
Thank you for telling me.
Here's the jacket I borrowed.
I wasn't expecting to see you tonight.
I was not prepared to have the conversation that we had today.
It's not a conversation I ever really wanted to have.
Oh, Maxine, hi.
Patricia, I should go.
No, stay. We're just gonna have a glass of wine and a conversation.
I thought it would be nice before we spent an evening together in formal wear.
Well, thank you. It's late for me. Thank you for lending me your jacket.
Of course.
Have a lovely evening. Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.